Hi guys, and welcome back to Unifying Device Discovery and Inventory in the Cato Management Application. In this lesson, we're going to talk about working with device dashboards, when to use them, common pivots, and practical filters. So first and foremost, in the Cato knowledge base, I'll post this in the lesson, but what is device inventory and how do we discover devices is important to understand. We're going to see everything on the network. We're going to be able to discover, monitor, and manage devices connected to your network. The device inventory analyzes WAN-bound and outbound internet traffic. So if we see that, we can detect it, we can use our AI, and we can start to understand what each device is doing and add it to the inventory of devices. It's completely without agents, and all is done in the power of the Cato POPs. Okay, and there's also in the actual Cato device inventory page, which I'll support and put in the lesson as well, some best practices for detection accuracy. Make sure TLS inspection is enabled, and if you can, use the Cato Cloud for DHCP. That allows us to see some of those vendors and understand more deeply about what's happening with those devices to give you a clearer picture of your IoT, OT, and IT devices. Okay, so let's get started right in the Cato CMA. So we got a couple options: device dashboard and device inventory. The device dashboard is a quick snapshot of everything you have within your Cato infrastructure. This could be PCs, servers, IoT, OT, network. So you can see 31 devices, 4 new, identified IoT devices. You can do a filter here if you got a lot of them to say device name, OS, site category is, and filter just those. You can click these and it's going to rechange all the devices associated with that. So I want to see networking. It's going to change everything else below this into networking. For now, I'm just going to keep it open. And now you can see, all right, what are the device types I have? IoT cameras, smart plugs. What are the operating systems, the manufacturers that I have in my environment? And then here's all the events associated with it, the individual IoT categories. So if you wanted to see like all your events for PC, you could do that, or networking, you could do that as well. So you have laptops and IP cameras for top device by firewall events. So you can see what type of devices are creating firewall events. And then top IoT services, when those services are being called. So a lot of these devices will call home to a certain country, a certain server infrastructure that you may or may not want to have happen. This just gives you visibility into that. And then we can visualize those call homes and those connections right here on a map to see where those countries are happening and the devices that are communicating. So it allows you to be able to discover and see those. And then you can filter these if you want by device type, application, or events as well. So it's a great snapshot of everything that's happening directly in your device environment within your Cato CMA. All right, device inventory. Here you can do a lot more tweaking and understanding of all your devices. So same thing, you have a filter up here. So if you knew specifically what you wanted to go after, you could use the filter. You could then use the plus sign to save any filters if you want. And now you can click on any of these to say, I want to see just mobile events or just IoT events. So right here, if I click just add to filter for IoT, it's going to update this. And all the devices down here are going to show IoT and where they're at. And what's really cool here, guys, is I can click here, and then it's going to bring me up a quick snapshot. Sorry, it's going to bring me up a quick snapshot of what the device is. So I have and here's the name. It's in IoT. It's in Israel. It's a smart plug by this company. That's the manufacturer. Last active, and so I've got all this really rich information about this device. And then I have all the events by subtype. So I can see it's internet firewall and some monitor events. So I can see where that's communicating back to. And then I can click here to view the events if I wanted to. So I can click here and I can view the events associated with this one transaction. And you can do this for any single device within that device inventory page. So really, really powerful stuff. You can see here's the individual events. So out of millions of events, we're able to pull this one event. I can bring it up here and I can see here we have it monitor. Here's related apps, destination country, information about it, ISP name. So you've got all this really rich information. If you wanted to be able to understand what is this device doing, maybe there's an incident with this device, maybe you don't know what this device is and you really want to understand how to secure it, but still allow it to do its thing, you do a little more understanding of it. So we allow that to happen with just one single click by viewing the event. So let's go back out to device inventory here just to show you a couple more tweaks here. So in device inventory, you see IoT. I can go out to even networking here so I can add a filter. I really like this feature because now we can see things like switches and other networking devices by manufacturer and individual device here in the networking category. So you can see I have a TP-Link server here. I have a switch here in Surrey, UK. So I can click this TP-Link switch if I want to and get all the details associated with that TP-Link's device. These are like a Soho, small office, home office type of switch. Someone plugs it in your environment, you want to block it, you can automatically do that. I'll show you that in a minute. So you can say like, all right, boom, anyone who comes in from these manufacturers, I don't want them on my infrastructure. I need to have that blocked because we don't want rogue switching, rogue APs, those type of thing in our environment. So same thing, you can click the events, you see the geo information directly here. All right, cool. So You can use the categories. You can, you go by manufacturer, device type, clear it up here. Lots of great information. I would encourage you to play around on your device inventory page in your Cato CMA. Really powerful and useful. And then when you click on a device, you're going to be able to see the details associated with that individual device. So you can have some blocks, alerts by action. So really powerful with one click to be able to understand an IoT, PC, mobile phone, what they're doing, what the device is, and who they're communicating with, and what kind of security events are associated with that. All right, so now let's move on. How do you take action against these? So, all right, you see something within your environment and you want to understand, all right, what's going on with this individual event. I want to be able to block it. So you can go out and you can go to your internet firewall and you can go new rule. And I'm going to block that smart plug manufacturer. So I can put the position, at first if I wanted to. Under criteria, I can go device attributes manufacturer. And then under the values, I can then type in, this particular name of this manufacturer. And I can say, boom, I don't want this smart plug on my environment, right? So now it's going to say anytime this smart plug's on my environment, I can block it. So you could use this to either say only this manufacturer, if you've certified just a manufacturer, is only allowed. Anyone else, no one is not allowed. So you can really do some unique rules to really secure up and provide a zero trust, policy-based IoT, OT, and IT environment to ensure that only the devices you approve by manufacturer, by category, by operating system are allowed on your infrastructure to communicate across the WAN or the internet firewall. Very, very powerful and secure in your environment, especially with the amount of IT and IoT devices that you see in the networks and in the environments today. You can use the Cato firewall to block that or monitor it to ensure that you're getting the appropriate visibility. Okay, cool. So in summary, this was unifying device inventory and discovery. In this lesson, we talked about working with device dashboards, when to use them, common pivots, and practical filters. Thanks so much, guys. I hope this is helpful.